Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the Chikuma, a Tona-class heavy cruiser that entered service in 1939. This warship represents an advancement on the Mogami class, and notably all four main battery gun turrets are situated on the ship's bow, a distinctive feature of this series. Designed for extended long-range reconnaissance, escort duties, and supporting aircraft carrier formations, this warship boasts an augmented cruising range and carries an onboard air group. Throughout World War II, Chikuma took part in most major operations conducted by the Japanese Navy, before finally in October of 1944, Chikuma was sunk during the Battle of Leyte Gulf at the Battle of Samar Island. So this is the Chikuma, a Tier 9 Japanese heavy cruiser with aircraft. So we'll start with the armor layout. We can see here Chikuma has 25mm of fore-end plating and a fore-end deck of 27. The main deck armor is 27mm, raised section here also 27. The auxiliary room armor plating is 27. We get 27mm of torpedo protection. This covers the belt armor of 145mm and here 100mm. Two sections of belt armor. Under the turrets it's 145 and under the superstructure 100. Again, the same here at the stern. Aft end plating is 25, but the deck is 27. If we take a look inside at the Citadel armor, we see armor belt 145, 56 deck armor, 31. There is an element of sloped armor deck slope here, 67mm. So here under the gun turrets, the Citadel is submerged under the waterline. Here under the main superstructure, it is slightly raised with an element of sloped plating. This ties in directly to the ship's survivability. Only 38,900 hit points with a torpedo protection damage reduction of 13%. Now while this might seem quite low, 38,900 for Tier 9. It is hugely augmented with its consumables. Now here you get a choice between Hydro or Defensive AA. Most notably, you get the smokescreen generator and a repair party. So this greatly augments its survivability in terms of hit points. 90-second plus smokescreen and 5 repair parties. This is the build I'm using: accuracy mod and reload mod. I quickly put in my Yamamoto captain here just for early testing sake. Grease the gears, you can see the skills here. I am going to experiment. This is not the final build, but just in terms of the basics like consumables and concealment. This will be more than functional for a preview video. Okay, so let's look at the aircraft. You get torpedo bombers. These have 1,950 hit points, a cruising speed of 135, boosted to 155 knots, 2 aircraft per attacking flight, 2 per squadron, each dropping 1 torpedo. So you fire basically 2 torpedoes, 2 aircraft, each dropping 1. Now the max damage on these torps seems quite high, 9,333. The aerial speed is 50 knots. The torpedo range is 6 kilometers, and they have an arming distance of 671 meters. Now the aircraft prep time on these is 108 seconds. So quite formidable torpedoes, aerial torpedoes. Very high damage. Moving to the main battery artillery, Chikuma gets 4 of these twin mounted turrets, all with 203mm guns, so 8 of these barrels in total. Turret number 3 and this turret number 4, they can't rotate 360 degrees. So even though it may appear that they are capable of rotating, they can't. Only this number 2 turret can rotate 360 degrees. So these have a 14.1 second reload. They can rotate 180 degrees in 28.7 seconds. They have a max dispersion of 123 meters with a max firing range of 157 kilometers. And they have a max firing range of 15.7 kilometers. They can fire both high explosive and armor piercing. The high explosive has a max damage of 3300, 19% fire chance. They can penetrate 34mm of armor and have a shell speed of 840 meters per second. Same shell speed for the armor piercing, but with increased damage of 4700 for the armor piercing shells. Chikuma gets additional secondary battery, 4 of these twin mounted turrets. These are 127mm guns, so 8 of these in total. They have a 7.5 second reload. They fire high explosive. They have a base range of 7.3 kilometers, 2100 max damage, high explosive damage, 9% fire chance. They can and 21mm of armor and have a slowish shell speed of 725 meters per second. Chikuma also gets formidable torpedo armament. These have a max range of 15 kilometers. You get 2 X3 launchers here on both port and starboard sides. So 6 torpedoes per side. They have a max damage of 23,767. They have 60 knots of speed and they can be detected at 1.7 kilometers. And these torpedoes have a reload time of 105 seconds. Very high damage Japanese torpedoes, so these will pack quite a punch indeed. Very good range, decent speed, and very high damage. Chikuma gets access to the depth charge airstrike, 7 kilometers in range. They have 2 available flights. The reload time on these is 25.5 seconds. Each of these aircraft drops 2 bombs with a max damage of 4,200. When it comes to AA defense, Chikuma gets a rating of 51, not exactly that high. These consist of 23 of these single mounted 25mm guns here all over the deck. Another 4 twin mounted 25mm. These are primarily on the superstructure. 8 triple mounted 25mm. So very large number of 25mm guns here on the stern. And these secondary battery, these 127s, are dual purpose. They double up as AA mounts. So all combined, they pump out a quite measly 126. Vast majority of this, of course, with those 25mm is short range. Chikuma fires 4 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 1540. You get a priority sector reinforcement of 75%, and these have a max firing range of 5.8 kilometers. In terms of maneuverability, get the base speed is 35.5, and with the speed back 37.3, turning circle radius of 780 meters, and a rudder shift time of 8 seconds. I am currently using steering gears for that improved rudder shift. Now finally, stats-wise, Chikuma gets a very nice concealment rating of 76. Very good concealment, 8.8 kilometers. Detectability range by subs and aircraft is 5.8 and ships at 8.8 kilometers. Now, having smoke, you can see that Chikuma has a smoke firing penalty of 6.2 kilometers, which is quite decent considering the gun caliber of 203mm. So you'll only be detected when in smoke firing your guns by any ship that comes within 6.2 kilometers. So this is quite good, having this very low smoke firing penalty. So this is the brand new Japanese heavy cruiser Chikuma that served extensively during World War II with the Japanese Navy. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more. It is massively appreciated. It helps out the channel immensely. So thank you all very much for your support. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all.